wondered why the market always goes against you? Many times after you've bought a share, then share prices started to drop. Is it because that the market doesn't like you? How do we overcome this situation then? M+ Wiz, which alerts on potential entry for trending stocks, might do the trick for you. Is that all for the Wiz feature? Not at all. To find out more, please visit us at mplusonline.com/wiz. Have you ever wondered why the market always goes against you? Many times after you've bought a share, then share prices started to drop. Is it because that the market doesn't like you? How do we overcome this situation then?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Elkie here with you guys today. And good afternoon, good Monday. All right, okay. So wish everyone having a happy Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year is ending. Tomorrow is the last day for Chinese New Year. And today is also Valentine's Day. All right. Okay, so happy Valentine's, everyone. All right. Okay. All right. Let's look at our market today. Okay. Today we can see, despite the selling in the US market on last Friday, Thursday, and Friday, our local index actually still performing. Okay, still performing regardless of the intensify of the intensify between Ukraine and also the Russian side. Okay, and this morning, although we had some selling in the morning, all right, affected by the sentiment, but we can see our local index very quickly recovered. Okay, mainly lifted by the banks, plantations, and also some oil and gas. Okay, so if we look at our volume traded today, is standing at 1.77 billion. with with the value of 1.06, which I see is considered quite healthy. All right. And as for the number of gainers and decliners, we can see although our index are up, but we can see the sentiment is actually not that strong at this moment. We can see we have 518 counters down and only 362 counters up. And if we look into top gainers, we can see most of these counters, maybe many of them, they are actually some of the oil and gas plantations. Okay, especially we can see plantations, many of the plantation stocks making a good move. Okay, with the continuation in the rally, and also with the expectation of good results. Okay, uh, all right. So ahead of the earnings, many of all these plantation company, they are expected to release a good result amidst the high CPO price, a higher CPO price. If we look into the CPO price, remember last week when we were talking about the CPO price movement, it was on Monday. Okay, that we are seeing quite a strong selling on the day, and we were mentioning that for CPO, there might be some selling pressure for on the CPO price and cause some profit taking in plantation counters for short term. Okay. However, we do also mention that this retracement is likely to be temporarily, because we are still expecting the sentiment to be remain beat up amidst the expectation of a good result cure for all these companies. Okay, so we can see as the CPO price pick up and continue pressure higher, we are seeing a good picking up in all these plantation the share price of all these plantation companies. Okay, especially on Sunday we were looking at the news about the reduced import tax for the CPO by India, which India is one of the key user of CPO in the world. All right. Okay, so if we look into our local benchmark index, okay, if we look into our local benchmark index, FBM KLCI, okay, what is happening on the outlook for our local FBM KLCI is we can see at this point of time the 200 days moving average is pretty much flat. We have rebounded above the strong resistance of 1563, 1563 and 1568, and next we are looking at 1600 resistance. Okay, without much resistance to 1600s, the chances of our FBM KLCI to reach 1600 is very likely, I would say. Okay, yeah. So for those who are trading index link counter, if you are holding any of all this index link counter, maybe you can take some profits, because if we're looking our index, it has rebounded almost near 200 points. Is from the low, it's has rebounded more than 80 points. Okay, this is a very strong move from right here what we are seeing. Okay, and for it to reach 1600 is possible, but the upside is pretty much limited at this point of time. Okay, if you are entering any index link counter, then I would say you might want to focus on more towards a short-term strategy. If you see money, then take the money. Okay, for those who are already holding it, you can consider to take your profit slowly, especially when the index is reaching near the 1600 levels. Okay, then you might want to take a little bit more profits, and if there is any retracement in the index, then you can buy back at a lower price. Okay, as for those who have bought into some of the plantations counters, okay, some of the plantation counters that we are looking that moving quite significantly, like SOP is making a very strong move due to its low liquidity in SOP. So we are seeing the share price is just one directional. Okay, so for stocks that with a very low share issue, this is some of the movement that you can anticipate. Okay, so if we look at Sun Plantation wise, we can see Sun Plantation has made a very strong move last week as well. Okay, we talked about some plantation on last Monday, and we were saying that it's pretty much it's not that it's worse laggard compared to other plantation companies, whereby the move haven't come in, and it just happened last week. Okay, yeah. So for Sun Plantation, we can see it has already broke out from the sideways range, and we are seeing it's turning into an uptrend. And as long the price able to hold above somewhere around 3 ringgit 90 cents to 4 ringgit levels, I would see that is quite a normal retracement, and a further breakout would see a further buying, okay, into maybe 5 ringgit 20 cents area. Okay, but at this point, it is still in a ranging mode. It is trying to turn into an uptrend at this point. Okay, but what we want to see is a pullback and hold above 3 ringgit 90 cents area. Okay, otherwise, if we see a strong pullback, strong retracement, especially if there is any profit taking, selling on the results, okay, because in the market there is a saying, buy on rumors, sell on fact, whereby all these plantation companies, their share price has moved ahead of their cure. So when the cure release, there stands a chance that the profit-taking activities might come in for all the short-term traders, and if that happens, then we might see some plantation to trade back into a ranging mood rather than a strong uptrend to 5 ringgit area. Okay, so for short-term traders, for swing traders, these are something that we have to bear in mind. Okay, so if we look into our some of our daily pick, okay, we have housing plantation as well, okay, which we are seeing continuation of the upward movement. Okay, so we can see it's forming a hammer and continue pressure upwards to the resistance of at 2 ringgit 70 cents. Okay, TH plantation is also one of the counters that we are looking very closely, with the strong increase in the volume. The trading volume has increased tremendously, and we are seeing it might have some it might move higher in near term to 80 cents resistance area. Okay, so besides of the plantation counters, I believe many of you guys also looking very closely on the oil and gas counter. Okay, if we look into the Brent price, okay, the Brent oil price, we can see that it has been trading higher as the geopolitical issue has been intensified. Okay, the oil price has been trading higher and moving towards the $100 mark. Okay, yeah, we have been talking about the chances of it going to $100 mark is pretty much possible for the oil price. And hence, if we look into some of the oil and gas counter, like if we look into Charimin, okay, Charimin, we are seeing some form of rebound happening on oil and gas counter. Okay, last week when we were talking about the oil and gas counter, we were mentioning that there is a potential top on last Monday before the selling. Okay, before the selling on Monday, during afternoon session, we were talking about potential top, and then we start to see some form of profit taking retracement on all of this oil and gas counter. And today, I would say that the selling has been well supported along with the 20 days midterm moving average line, and the chances of it to resume on the upward movement, it could be quite possible. Okay, hence, if you're looking into oil and gas counter, you might want to position it a little bit for a short-term trading. Okay, so Charimin is one that we find that quite potential today. Is it open gap up and retest the 94 cents area resistance, and I have some profit taking selling. Okay, However, as long the price able to stay above 89 cents, we will see that the rebound remains valid and has a good chance to retest 1 ringgit round figure resistance, and also the neck resistance at somewhere around 1 ringgit 24 cents. Okay, yeah, and USMA is also another one that I personally I like it a lot, with a bullish engulfing candlestick patterns near the 200 near the 20 days moving average, and rebounding further today with with a gap up. Okay, so with this kind of gap up, the chances of it to just go all the way up, all the way up north is much lower, because it's already gap up. So there might be some selling pressure um, coming in, okay, pressuring it before it make another move, maybe on Thursday or Friday. Okay, so I will see that any chance when it trades near from current price 54.5 cents to 52.5 is a good area to collect, accumulate some of the shares with the stop loss below 50 cents for USMA as well. Okay, and for hibiscus wise, we can see hibiscus is open gap up is despite like unlike Charmin and Usma, the selling pressure continue to pressure upwards. Okay, yeah. So this is hibiscus is also a buying continuation. Okay, and the next resistance we are seeing for hibiscus is somewhere around 1 ringgit 22 cents and also 1 ringgit 35 cents. Okay, so for oil and gas sector, I would say that it's pretty much positive at this point of time. Especially, we are seeing quite a remarkable pullback happening last week. Okay, so some of the short-term traders could already have left and looking into re-entering this this markets. Okay, yeah. So I think oil and gas oil and gas counter is quite worth looking into for short-term trading this week. Okay. Besides that, we also have banking. Okay. Last week we were talking about RHB Bank. Okay, we mentioned about RHB Bank is still on sideways, is setting up for a breakout at 5 ringgit 63 cents, and that happened on Wednesday. Okay, you can see we drew the lines. Okay, the confirmation at 65 ringgit 65 cents, and we see quite a string of green candles happening since last Wednesday. Okay, so we were talking about on 7th, and then starting on the 8th, it start to pressure upwards. Okay, so at this point, we are seeing RHB Bank is reaching the 5 ringgit 90 cents resistance, whereby the upside is quite limited at this point, which I would say that for those of you guys who wish to trade on RHB Bank, maybe you want to wait a little bit. Okay. Meanwhile, if we look at other banks like SABI, okay, it's also approaching the resistance at this point. Okay. Maybank wise is already broken above the resistance, but we don't see much strong momentum happening on Maybank. Okay, yeah. So among all, one with a better technical movement will be the Hong Leong Bank with the breakout pullback and continuation on the breakout covering the tail. So for Hong Leong Bank wise, it might continue pressure upwards towards 21.15 or even 21.60 area. Okay, but for bank stocks wise, there might be a certain degree of pullback or a slower momentum move for this week. Okay, all right. So, but of course, with the digital banking license is on its way in the pipeline in the pipeline, the bank might continue pressure upward rather than making a steep retracement. So for those who are holding banking stocks, you might want to be slow. If you want to take profit, you can take profit slowly. Okay, all right. Okay, so other than that, I would say that last week we also talked about furniture. Okay, we also talked about furniture, like we talked about lumber furniture counters like Ulando, Okay, this is on the Monday that we're talking about, and then the next day it was pricing higher and continues to stay sideways. Okay, so we can see there's still some upward space to go higher, but bear in mind that the volume is slowing down. So if we see the next breakout at 1.74 ringgit, it has to come with a strong volume. Otherwise, that it might go into a distribution phase. Okay, if we look into evergreen wise, okay, evergreen, the chart is still looks very nice. Okay, it's holding well above the 20 days moving average at this point. Is rally pullback and it's continued to stay above the 20 days moving average at this point. Okay, so on the breakout 56 cents, we should see a further upward movement, maybe to 60 cents, 60 cents to 62 cents area. Okay, for evergreen. Okay, another one that I mentioned last week is Miyako. Okay, we can see Miyako is also, we don't see much selling pressure after such a strong move from 54 cents all the way to 60, 65, 64, 65 cents, almost 20% move, but it's just continue to go sideways. Okay, that we don't see willing aggressive sellers at this point, and it might continue pressure higher. Okay, so for furniture counters, the upside remains. Okay, but we need to monitor very closely for the move. Okay, so if we see any of this move coming in, then we might want to catch it for a short-term trading. Okay, because we can see it might poise into retracement. For Lee Hand Moise is going on retracement. Okay, but for Miyako Evergreen, they are still holding well for a potential upward continuation, but it might be a weaker one. Okay. All right. So besides the furniture, we also realized that some of all these garments related counters, like today Kelly, okay, Kelly is making a very strong move happening today after the breakout of 43 cents. Mark right over here. It's a strong spike happening with a strong volume. Okay. Beside Kelly, we also seeing some other like Bonia. Okay, we can see Bonia it also has been trading on a very strong uptrend since mid of Jan, as the Chinese New Year has been reaching nearby. Okay, and if we look into Padini wise, we can see Padini also having quite a strong move happening since end of February. So these are some of the recovery theme kind of counters, consumer products, garments related, and they have been poising good move. Okay, so one that I'm seeing that it could be like a little bit is Magni. Okay, I'm seeing Magni is forming a potential bottoming at 1.89 ringgit and rebounds to break the midpoint, the midpoint at 2 ringgit. Okay, so for Magni, we might see continue upward move to 2 ringgit 10 cents in the short term, but in the longer run, then the stronger resistance is somewhere around 2 ringgit 32 cents and 2 ringgit 45 cents area. Okay, so Magni is one of the related counters that I'm looking at for governments. Okay, so that will be the view for this week. So if we look at some of the counters that some of the audience are asking, like no immense, if you look at per cards, okay, for so long wise, we can see last week we were talking about per card is hitting the support of 64 cents area. Okay, we were saying that it's at the it's hitting the bottom. We were saying that this is quite a strong support where can consider for buying with a stop loss below 65 cents. Okay, and we are seeing some form of rebound. Okay, so for per card, we are seeing this is actually a good sign for per card with a rebound with volume increasing, and as long the price hold above 70 81.5 cents and continue pressure higher, then we might see a further buying to 80 cents area or even higher. Okay, for Phuket. So I would say Phuket is developing a good technical formation at this point. And if you are betting on it, you can try to buy if you see the selling has weakened when it comes to 71 and 71.5 cents, with the stop loss below 70 cents area. Okay, and Injin no asking about Malaywa. Okay, as of Malaywa, okay, we can see for last week Malaywa has making quite a good move, upward good move. Okay, after it has staged quite a potential bottoming at 33 cents, 34 cents area. Okay, it has making a small uptrend move, okay, but a weaker one. All right, okay. So what we are looking at is if Malaywa able to hold above the 38.5 cents and break further at 42 cents resistance level, okay, we might see Malaywa to continue to pressure higher, okay, to form into it confirms the uptrend for Malaywa if it rebreaks higher at this point. Okay, so for Malaywa wise, I would say it looks quite promising at this point. Okay, as long the price don't go back below 36.5 cents. Okay, and especially with last week the rising interest in the steel related counters, like what we mentioned on Monday. Okay, the chances of it to break higher is quite likely. Okay, as long the steel price continue to hold and continue pressure higher. Okay, then if we see the breakout of 42 cents, then we might see the Malaywa to trade to 47 to 48 cents. Okay, and talking about the steel counters, we were mentioning about P metal last week, whereby we are seeing it has been posting a string of green candles pricing upwards, and at this point we are not seeing strong selling pressure right over here. We have some kind of profit taking selling pressure happening on last Friday, but today is still continue to cover up. It's still continue to pressure higher. The buying sentiment remains strong, and PMB tag as well. And if we look into NJU as well, we can see NJU make quite a strong move. And today is the starting last Thursday, there are some profit taking, but I'm seeing that this is a healthy retracement. Okay, as long the price hold above 2 ringgit 02 area, I would say that is any rebound from 2 ringgit 0203 levels is a good chance to accumulate and buy for a potential continued upward move for NJU to 2 ringgit 35 cents to 2 ringgit 40 cents level. Okay, so still related counters, they are on short-term retracement, but I would say that the outlook remains quite positive at this point. Okay, as long the steel price continue to hold and pressure upwards. Okay, all right. So if we look at another other counters, yep, Jino Muhammad also looking at Usman. Okay, let's hope Usman can fly to the moon. All right, I believe many of you guys right here also monitor very closely on the steel related counter, right? Sorry, on the oil and gas counter. Okay, not on the steel, because we are seeing some kind of pullback on the steel price after last week rally. Okay, so what we need to do for the steel counters is, if you didn't take any short-term profit taking, then you might want to monitor closely on the direction and the movement of the steel price, and to see to catch on as the steel price rebound. Okay, and if Miss Chua is asking about Samson. Okay, Samson is a penny stock. From what we are seeing right here, Samson has been always trading on sideways. Okay, and when the volume come in over here and over here, you can see it will always happen with a spike. Okay, but this time around, The volume hasn't reached the spike that we are seeing somewhere around here. Okay, around 80 millions. Okay, around 80 millions for 8 million volume. Around 8 million volume. Okay, 80 million volume. Sorry, 80 million volume right over here. Okay, so I would say that Samson might still stands quite a chance to continue pressure higher. Okay, in one direction. Okay, yeah, but as the volume started to pick up, maybe come somewhere around more than 50 million kind of volume, then you want to be aware on Samson. Okay, because it's a penny stocks, and you might want to be careful, especially the rally is started from 18.5 cents from Samson, and the recent breakout is at 27.5. So if you're trading Samson, you want to put a stop, maybe you can look at 27.5 or even 25 cents as a potential, as a short-term stop loss. Okay. Helen is asking about Tenaga. Okay. If we look at Tenaga, okay, at this point, Tenaga wise, we are seeing that the 9 ringgit support is holding well, and the selling momentum has slowing down for Tenaga, whereby we can see that is forming a higher low in the bullish divergence. Is forming a higher low in the MACD. Okay, the selling has been slowing down, but we are yet to see a very strong reversal signal happening on Tenaga. Okay, but definitely what we are seeing is a slowing down in the selling momentum. So if you want to buy for the bottoming, okay, 9 ringgit is one levels that you can look into. Okay, if you're trading for technical wise, then you might want to see if there is any short strong reversal happening at the 9 ringgit levels for Tenaga. Okay, Atronic. Okay, for Atronic, we see it had quite a strong selling down. Okay, um, technical from technical view, we would say that this is double top happening at on Atronic. Okay, you can see it has come to 62 cents twice. Okay, and then it formed the double bottom, and the selling pressure it's got the selling pressure intensified, especially it breaks the midpoint of 48 cents. Okay, for Ultronic, one, if you are trading some stocks like Ultronic, okay, one of the thing that you have to be really careful is when it continue to go higher without a strong volume. Okay, you can see although the share price has been trading higher, the average volume has been coming down for Atronic. Okay, and even if you are not able to catch this one, for all these stocks that has been moving in one direction, okay, one of the key thing that you have to be aware is when a stocks have a sudden sharp drop like this. Okay, like when it happened on 7th and it rebounds. Okay, the chances of it to re-break above 64 cents is very unlikely. Okay, yeah, so anytime if you are seeing a reversal signal breaking reversal signal on the rebound on this second wave of rebound, and that is the point where you need to exit your position, especially the confirmation is at the break of 48 cents, the midpoint. Okay, the double top midpoint. Okay, so these are some of the signals that you should take it, where it's telling you that the upward movement has coming to an end, and it has been going on distribution, especially this movement happening right over here is definitely the distributions. The rebound is to distribute further and get out. Okay. Uh, Ancient no article. Okay, stocks related to the border open already. Okay, I believe you are talking about the capital A, which used to be Asia. Okay, uh, miss no article. Okay, check no article. I would say our market is very efficient. Where the news is released immediately the market has digest and also reflect it on the share price itself. Okay, so capital A Asia is definitely one of the counters that would be benefit from the uh, open of the border. Okay, and it has made a spike from 56.5 cents all the way to 70 cents in 2 days time. Okay, uh, as the market has reflected the movement, it's quite normal for the short-term traders to take some profits, especially for those who bought on the 8th of February. They will need to put in the money or to pick up on the 10 or even the 11. Okay, so it's quite normal for all these short-term traders to take profits and hence some pullback on the counter on the share price movement. All right, but at this point we are not seeing a strong selling pressure happening. The volume is low, whereby if we are seeing a rebreak above 70 cents, the chances of it to cover the gap in at 74 and a 74.5 cents is very likely for capital A. Okay, so do monitor closely for capital A, whereby if the volume increase and you're seeing some form of rebound, okay, a bullish reversal candle or what, then it might be a chance for you to jump in and trade on the continuations. Okay, because the impact for the border reopening, it will be sustained for quite some time. Okay, but the market reaction, it has react immediately. Okay, Inches Sulaiman is asking about MYEG. Okay, if we look at MYG, we see MYG having quite a strong move happening since it reached a short-term low at 88.5 cents in end of January. Okay, and last week we see quite a strong upward rebound and it just hold above the 1 ringgit levels. Okay, historically what we are seeing is 1 ringgit 10 to 1 ringgit 12 cents has proven to be a very strong resistance for MYEG. Okay, so if you're trading MYEG at this point, maybe you want to collect on weakness when it trades to the wrong figure, 1 ringgit or even 98 cents, and take some profits when it comes to 1 ringgit 10 cents and above. Okay, because it has proven to be a very strong resistance right over there. So MYG might trade in the range bound in short term. Okay, but once it's able to clear 1 ringgit 13 cents resistance level, then we might see a much stronger move on MYG to maybe 1 ringgit 24 or even 1 ringgit 35 cents area. Okay, but at this point, it's better to queue and wait if you're able to collect some of the MYG at a lower price. Inchi Rosny is asking about data prep. Okay, we can see the data price has been going on a downtrend. Okay, strongly on the downtrend, and you were asking about comparing about it with Careza. Okay, so one thing that you can do is you can actually put something like this so that you can compare the share price. Okay, so if we look at data prep and Careza wise, we can see that the rally happening in Careza, the selling on Careza starting on the 7th February, whereby the data prep has been on a constant selling. Okay, so the correlation actually are pretty much weak from what I see right over here. Okay, if we talk about the technical side only. Okay, Inji Sotesh is talking about Penta. It's asking about Penta. Okay, for technology stocks wise, as what we mentioned last week, technology stocks is only poised for a technical rebound. Overall, technical view is still remain on a bearish note. Okay, for all these tech counters. Okay, we can see Great Tech even it formed a higher high, but it also fail to sustain on and also pressure lower. So if you are trading on gray tech, I would suggest that you might want to cut loss and queue to buy lower at a lower price. Okay, so we have to be flexible a little bit, especially if our stock is going on downtrend. We can always sell it first and buy back lower at a cheaper price. Okay, MSC is trading higher. Okay, MSC is trading higher and is poised for a continuation upward movement. Okay, I saw MPI by Eric. Okay, so another semiconductor counters, we can see it continue to stay downward pressure. Okay, Miss No Hayati is asking about YBS. If we look into YBS wise, YBS has hold well above the 200 MA and rebounded. What happening right here is the volume isn't too strong happening. Okay, we are not seeing a very strong volume supporting the rebound at this point. Okay, it's just slightly higher, okay, than the previous movement. Okay, so the chances of it to test 73.5 cents is there, but it could be in a overlapping mode and it could take a longer time. Okay, the upward move for YBS hasn't been too strong at this point from what I see. Okay, Ivy is asking about Kobe. Okay, Kobe wise, similar like other tech counters, is going on a downtrend. Okay, going on the downtrend. Mr. To is asking about Dialog. Last week we talked about Dialog as well. Okay, one good thing about Dialog is today it has traded above the 200 days moving average. Okay, I would say that if you want to enter for Dialog, you can consider to enter right now. But if you want to be safe, you can wait for a pullback, happening right here and a rebreak. But of course, we do not know when the pullback will happen. It might only happen if it goes up to 3 ringgit areas. It might happen later today or tomorrow as well. Okay, so I would say that with oil and gas, outlook all this remains very positive. Okay, I would say that you can consider to buy a little bit small positions. Okay, so that you do not miss the boat as it continue pressure higher with the breakout above 2 ringgit 80 cents area. But meanwhile, keep some bullets for a pullback and rebreak to buy on Dialog. Okay. So I'm gonna take another last two. One is tech cycle. Okay, for tech cycle is forming a bottoming and rebound above the 20 days moving average. So its trend is going into an upward trend whereby if it break higher, if it able to hold above this bottoming formations over here. Okay, at 47.5 cents area and re-break, then it will be a good formations, upward formation for tech cycle. Okay, and the last one for today, AGIA. Okay, AGIA has been trading on an uptrend, but the buying momentum has been slowing down. Okay, so if we look at it, you can see it has been slowing down. It forms into an upward edge and it might retrace further. Okay, especially with the volume, the upward volume, the buying interest has been slowing down. Okay, it might retrace to somewhere around 1 ringgit 04 or 1 ringgit area, 99 cents. Okay, so if you are trading on AGIA or you are interested to trade AGIA, then maybe you want to be patient a little bit on AGIA. Okay, and Inchi Sulaiman is asking about the comment on the market if Russia do invade Ukraine. Okay, of course, if we seeing the incident happen, the chances of the oil price to continue to go high is very likely, and some of the money would move into safe haven like gold price Okay, so the dollar is likely to be strengthened as well, and also the yen, and we are seeing um, the the demand for the commodities, the commodity price likely to strengthen with if that really happen. Okay, uh, so this so from there what we can see is we would want to remain to focus on the commodity sectors like the steel, like the oil and gas, like palm, all this. Okay, so these are the sectors we still remain want to monitor very closely at this point. Okay, all right, so that will be all for our section today. So to wrap up, we are looking very closely on oil and gas, palm this week, and banking. The upside remain there, but it might be a slower move in banks on the bank stocks, and still for the is on retracement, and we are looking for rebound, and we are looking furnitures for a short-term trading. Okay, short-term trading opportunities, and also governments, consumer products, governments are reacting, they are making a move, so we might want to look into some of the laggards one, like Magni that mentioned. Okay, so that will be the summary for today. All right, thank you for joining our section today, and I wish you guys have a good week ahead. All right, and this Thursday I'm having a webinar tonight. Okay, so do go to our Facebook page to get registered and also be reminded when the section starts. All right, follow us on our Facebook, like and follow us. Thank you very much. Bye bye.